All right, welcome to the Red Vent podcast. I am your comptroller or host, Jesse, and today we have
Daniel,
Gerald,
Chuka.
And this is just going to be a quick episode, I guess, 0. Looking back at it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say quick. You don't know how long it's going to take.
Ignoring the past hour of discussion we've had.
When you fry up the potato, it cooks.
What?
Fry up the potato, it cooks.
Okay, so more or less, we've come together.
You say I'm cryptic.
Share opinions. And the first thing we are going to talk about is
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. What about Ubisoft?
So, Ubisoft...
Chuka's favorite company.
Yeah, Ubisoft is a beautiful company that
They make the best games.
They sell a beautiful house sauce in all of their games. Regardless of what game it is, they functionally have the distinctly same taste. So my question is...
It's like when you go to Swiss Chalet, you know you're getting that sauce with everything you order.
Or it's
You
like
order a salad,
when
they
you go to
give you the damn
McDonald's,
sauce.
all the burgers roughly taste the same regardless of what's on it.
That's true.
They all have that weird sort of acidic butter taste.
Acidic butter.
So the question is, can Ubisoft ever wow gamers again? Like, can they ever do anything that is just like, okay, can they ever relive Assassin's Creed 2? Because I think that's the last time everyone stood and said, wow.
But the thing is, if you look back at all of the Assassin's Creed games before it started getting, really repetitive, I mean, there's people who love and enjoy it, and I have nothing against that, but it's just... it's like watching, back in, the 80s and 90s where they'd have, horror movies that kept having sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel.
Yeah.
Just, people just knew what was going on, but they still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What was the last game, not including Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, or whatever, you can say that if you like, or 2, you said.
I think Brotherhood's the best one, but 2 had the most impact.
When was the last time you were like, wow, this is a great game, and they never really revisited a formula like that?
From Ubisoft?
From Ubisoft.
Are you talking about exclusively Assassin's Creed games?
Just
No,
Ubisoft. Just in general.
Ubisoft in general.
Well, personally, I know it's nowadays more than ever I'm hearing the vocal majority on the fact that 4 wasn't a good game.
Really?
To many people, I'm hearing more or less nowadays that 4...
I'm not sure who you're hearing that.
I know.
I enjoyed 4.
I've heard a lot of that too.
4 is one of my favorites, but I've been hearing by a lot of people now more than ever that 4 is just... It wasn't that good. They didn't like the sailing and everything. I felt the sailing was really defined in 4.
I thought people loved 4.
I love 4.
Generally speaking, people I know love 4.
Next to 2, 4 is probably my favorite.
People
just because the fact that... What other pirate game can you say there was? Pirates of the Caribbean?
Sid Meier's Pirates.
But game where you got
where you were.
See, the thing with Assassin's Creed 4 though is that it wasn't really an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
No,
that's why it succeeded.
It reminded you it was Assassin's Creed game in the last third of the game.
It's like if Ubisoft took what you were saying,
Their
secret
Assassin's
sauce,
Creed model,
and put it into a pirate game.
Well, the funny thing is,
almost like
after
its own
Assassin's Creed Black Flag came out, Ubisoft released a poll saying that, would you like us to do more stuff like this, where it's not Assassin's Creed related, but it is,
structurally wicked.
Didn't they put that in the straight up game? Part of the meta game was that you were like, yeah, I like this sneak mission, or this sneak mission shit.
Oh, you could rate.
Oh, you could
level.
Yeah,
missions?
for damn well they were taking that metadata. They were like,
No,
okay.
but they actually made a poll where it was like.
They were doing that since then.
It was Assassin's Creed 4
Yeah,
beta flag.
Yeah,
They actually
were
made a
doing
poll
that.
where it's distancing ourselves from Assassin's Creed. Where would you like us to see? Where would you like a direction gone?
Okay,
for us to make a game?
everyone knows where everyone wants them to go. Just go to feudal Japan. That's what everyone's
No
showing
one wants
in
to do
Japan.
feudal Japan. Except
No,
for Neo.
they don't want to do it. Because they go with predictable. I think it's something
true,
more
yeah,
than
that-
that.
I mean, that's why we kind of get that in For Honor.
Yeah.
That's why the Samurais are so popular, because the fans...
But
Well,
even
look at
though
Neo.
Neo, yeah.
I mean, but the samurais are kind of like...
Still upset I couldn't name my guy Tom Cruise.
The samurai in For Honor are kind of like McDonald's brand samurai, like McDonald's brand Japanese people. They're so oh, this is safe. This is safe Japanese. It's not like...
I'm kind of perturbed that they're the only ones that don't speak English.
They do in the campaign.
They but it's you kind of see them stand apart from the Knights and the Vikings. Oh, we have our very clear defined we're order, and then you are savagery, and then
The Vikings don't,
samurais.
The Vikings don't speak English either in the campaign.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right. They
They
have
only
their own
speak
language.
English when you're playing as them, because you're being able to understand what they're saying.
Oh, yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I should have finished that.
But even For Honor...
No, you shouldn't have.
okay.
I see
Not
you're
great.
missing the point.
Yeah.
Far Cry Primal entire game different language, subtitles English.
Okay, but Far Cry
whole game
Primal
is
was
a
literally built on Far Cry 4, and
It's
Far Cry
the
4 is
fucking
basically
fucking
Blood
Blood Dragon
I'm
of
just being
Far
a troll.
Cry.
I'm just
Okay,
being a troll.
but the thing
yeah.
about Blood
I don't
Dragon-
I don't like it either.
Blood Dragon, I'll say one thing.
Was it a joke?
Yeah, but it was,
No, literally,
it was
it
fun.
was.
Like, it was a fun game. That's like the most fun I've ever had with the Far Cry game. Like, it was.
Yeah, but easily most overplayed and like overpopular Far Cry game is 3.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Blood Dragon lived off of that, and it just kind of
Yeah,
fed
but
into
every
it.
Far Cry has lived off of 3 since 2012.
I actually didn't mind Far Cry 2. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, Far Cry
you
2
can-
was.
It had a
Malaria.
good story.
Yeah, you can
Trying to cure
Malaria.
malaria.
I mean, there was no real
Yo, the
story.
Jackal?
You can light
All right,
fire.
but
and...
back on what was the last game that wowed you?
Yeah, we
From
were
Ubisoft.
From Ubisoft.
When I first played Child of Light,
That game sucks.
Okay, well, we'll get into that after.
but when I first played it, no, I never finished it because it does eventually hit a wall.
It's running on it's running on the Rayman engine, which funny enough, Rayman Origins is probably my favorite Ubisoft game.
See, and Rayman Origins is good, but when I first played Child of Light and I saw the art direction and the gameplay,
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
looks
this is
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Child of Light came out when the PS4 was barren.
Mm-hmm.
You had that, you had the 4 main launch games, and you had
you
Warframe.
had the Hot Watch Dogs.
You had those titles, and it's like, I'm gonna play this $15 side-scrolling or like.
Don't forget Strider.
Is the entirety of
Strider.
Rayman Origins inside of Rayman Legends? Because I remember unlocking that.
Some of the levels. The majority of the levels are.
See,
Yeah,
I still-
a lot of
I
it is,
I
I
still want
think.
to play Rayman Legends, which is a shame because I love Rayman Origins. I'm gonna get Rayman Legends eventually.
Okay, so
But-
Gerald, Ubisoft game. Wow.
He's
Sparkles.
Gerald of Rivia. You gotta call him by his
The
full
White
name.
Wolf.
So, okay, Ubisoft. I'm trying to think. Like, okay,
I'm not saying your favorite, but like
I'm kind of
The last
I'm
time you
kind
were
of
really
stumped on.
interested in a Ubisoft
I'm kind of
game.
stumped on that. Like, I thought Assassin's Creed Syndicate was great, but what did it wow me? I mean, a lot of it was what I was already familiar with.
usual, yeah.
Except I feel like they should have gotten to where Syndicate is like 2 games ago.
yeah.
Like,
Okay, let me put it this way. Ubisoft, I mean, you can still have a reinvigorating sequel. I mean, let's be honest, we're all playing Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild is easily one of the best games of this generation. Like, one of the best open world games, period.
can't deny it's been
It's
inspiring.
it's like one of the ultimate games I think I've ever played in my life. But like that's how many Zelda games are there? There are a ton, and they're still finding different ways to break things.
14, 17, something
Yeah,
like
but like Ubisoft, like how many Assassin's Creed games are there? Yeah,
But, you know, if you're saying they're finding new ways, but when you dissect Breath of the Wild, a lot of the things that are in it that we think are so amazing are they're adapting them from like things that have become trends, like
See,
the Assassin's
that. The
Creed.
whole survival element
But
of Breath of the Wild.
here's the
is
reason why Breath
something
of
popular.
Yeah, here's the reason why Breath of the Wild works though. Is it's not so much that it's ripping people off; they're just acknowledging that those games exist, and like they're making Breath of the Wild in a world where Minecraft exists or where The Witcher exists. But when you play Breath of the Wild, it distinctly feels like Breath of the Wild. It feels like its own game.
But one of the things that I feel makes Breath of the Wild successful, and it was something that I heard previously, is the fact that the game doesn't put a checklist on everything.
Yeah.
And I found that to be, that resonated a lot with my opinion.
Very, very liberating.
Because it was like, especially when you talk about the divine beasts, it doesn't go, hey, you've got 1 out of 4 divine beasts.
Do you
You
even
get a
need
divine.
to?
No, you don't.
no,
No,
you
you
can,
can-
you can go straight to Ganon.
Yeah.
You get a divine beast, and you could be like, that was annoying. I just want to finish it, or you can be like, that was fun. I want to get another one. I
You
want to see
should
this
do the
goes.
Divine Beasts because those are great dungeons.
Exactly.
But, you
But
mean,
my
like
point
appreciating
is,
the game.
there is
I would say
absolutely
that's the most fun I've had.
there was
It's
absolutely
Divine
no
Beast
checklist.
dungeons.
There's no checklist in that game
Yeah.
whatsoever, and it made that
That's a good
game less
point.
daunting. And if you want to talk about
Not only
Witcher,
that-
Witcher was just clouded with checklists.
Yeah, totally.
You've done this many out of this many, and so on and so forth.
But there are people who do like the
yeah,
the
there are people.
whole-
No,
That's
and
the
then
thing.
exactly,
So
you
that's
want
the thing to
structure and
acknowledge.
order.
There are people who do want.
I
The
just wanna
reason why
add-
Zelda's different is because it doesn't give you structure and order. You literally walk out of that Shrine of Resurrection. It's like, and it tells you,
Here's your
main
goal.
objective: defeat Ganon.
Yeah.
Go. Do whatever you want.
you do
can
necessary
either-
to prepare for
Exactly.
And that just kind of adds to the whole.
And I'm not a
feel-
scrub. I kept my HUD off because I'm a pro HUD. so-
Okay.
Arguably, we'll talk about that later. But I don't want to get into that right now. But like what you're saying is, it fits what the message of Breath of the Wild is. Like it's so like every aspect of that. Yes, every aspect of that game, it caters to that one feeling. It's just you're in this massive world. You have to survive. It's just the wild. Like it's in the title, right? Like It's just
Yeah.
no other Zelda's been like that in like every aspect that is in that. Like what you're saying, no checklist. You don't have to follow anything. It's just like adding to that experience.
Well, speaking of going off of it being in the title, it's funny because for open world games, this game is literally a breath of fresh air. So
well, I mean, I remember when, cause Japanese developers like to do this cute thing where they're like, oh, well, we made this game, so it's this kind of thing. Like, oh, it's a horror character action game with like some fake ass weird micro subgenre they make up. I remember, I think, hearing Miyamoto saying, yeah, this is an open air adventure game. I'm like, oh, you're full of shit. But then you play the game, it's like, yeah. I was playing the game, okay, it's fucked up. I was playing the game, and I turned it off. And I went and laid down and just at night, whatever, just listen to Bon Iver. And I'm like, oh shit, this is another Breath of the Wild. Fuck, this feels free. Then I woke up and went and played Breath of the Wild for 3 more hours.
Yeah.
But that kind of, I guess, underscores my issue with Ubisoft games, though. Like, Breath of the Wild, like, hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, almost the minute I stepped out, I'm like, this is awe-inspiring. But, like...
But before we get back to Ubisoft, Jesse had something to say.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing is just, like, it's a little almost on the unfair side.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I wanted to,
Ubisoft is, I'm not going to say a young company, but, like, comparing against the lineage of that of even just the Legend of Zelda series.
Ubisoft's also a company that in a couple more months might not be a company, but that's
That's
besides the point.
We'll get to that if it ever comes to that. But, like, when you look at the Assassin's Creed series and how it's progressed, and versus like the Zelda and Legend of Zelda series and how they've littered across many consoles and formats and just gimmicks, I would say. In some sense.
Zelda has how many times literally written the game? They've written the book on games. Like how,
exactly. No,
like 3D game wouldn't exist without Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, and
Like,
Gerald mentioned
on the same
how.
Well, that's what yesterday I was saying. I came by the store and I was saying to you that string of tweets.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was, someone saying
I was
going
gonna
to
mention that.
off Dark Souls,
and then the Dark Souls Twitter.
tweeted.
Yeah.
Dark Souls tweeted them, and they're saying like, I think we've all been taking a page from Nintendo's page.
I mean, Dark Souls is literally Dark Zelda. I mean, I
don't see the connection between Dark Souls and
I mean,
Breath of the Wild. honestly.
Hidetaki
It's
he's
not that
admitted
difficult.
he's admitted that
Walk in there with no armor and a bokoblin skeleton arm, and then say
But
there's no connection.
it's so much more than that. Like
No, it is. But
it's like
the
you
combat
can see,
doesn't feel like Dark Souls.
No,
that's
that's besides the
that's
point.
not-
It's like the nuances of the game have become very like you feel like you've been in this situation before where you're underprepared and you have no idea or direction of what's going on, and it's up to you to discover and uncover parts of the story.
exactly.
Dark Souls, any Souls born
The veteran
story,
Oh, I hate that
never
term.
mind.
But go on. I hate that term.
any Dark Souls or
Metroidvania.
any Dark Souls or
works.
Bloodborne
Yeah,
like
Soul
story arc, any Souls game story arc, you get from the game what you put into it basically. So if you go through the game and you meet Eileen the Crow in Bloodborne and you meet her a second time, you don't meet her that third time, you don't go to her rescue, you don't finish her story,
she's
so
dead.
she doesn't exist to you anymore. That they don't tell you that's the concrete story.
Yeah.
That's your concrete story.
And very similarly, in Breath of the Wild, I'm not going to avoid spoilers. If you don't touch on certain things, like your memories, you won't learn the relationships between certain people.
Yeah.
And if you can actually find optional journals and diaries in people's homes and certain places that reveal true intentions and how people actually feel.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you can just take it on surface level, and it won't ruin anything or change anything for you. But the deeper you go into it, the more you discover. But back on what I wanted to say against Ubisoft when we were talking about
Ubi,
and against is it Ubi or Ubi?
I think pretty sure it's Ubi. Like
not even kidding.
but either way, I'm saying Ubi because
It's Ubi.
Anyway,
they need my money, so I'm saying Ubi.
Ubiquitous
so
software.
against
It's a good one.
that, like you can see that every time they've made a Legend of Zelda installation, it's either
Not Ubisoft, but Nintendo.
no, sorry, Nintendo. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. But every time there's a Legend of Zelda,
wish.
yeah, I wish. Every time the Legend of Zelda, like a new installment comes out, they're definitely trying to. I'm not gonna say it's successful all the time, but they try new things and they innovate on what they had previously before. So you very rarely get the same experience.
It's kind of like the Nintendo model. I mean, you look at Mario.
Yeah. Like
everything
the
Mario.
Legend of Zelda has a strict set of rules. Of course,
Mario's
Breath of the Wild
like
breaks a
that
lot of them.
Yeah, I mean,
but still maintains
Praise
it.
be to Link to the Past.
Yeah, but then maintains it as a Zelda game. It's the most Zelda game that we've played in a good while.
Yeah, I mean, according to their own thing, they went back to Zelda 1 and went like, okay, let's go this way.
Well, yeah, I'll stand by what I've been saying, and the reason why, like, as much as I am a Sony fanboy, and as much as I like Sony, I don't want to use the term fanboy, but as much as I like Sony and what they put out, I returned my Horizon Zero Dawn because of the Switch.
I told you.
And like it's because
I
Zelda
think I
is.
said that was, yeah.
You
I
said that was gonna
yeah,
happen,
yeah, yeah.
and it's because Zelda has literally engulfed my life. And the thing is, I'm not a Nintendo fan. I have not owned a Nintendo console since the N64.
Actually-
But like, and I've said this, and I stick by it. Playing Breath of the Wild, it's showing me that I've been missing something in my gaming life that I haven't realized that I've been missing, and I haven't experienced this since I played Ocarina of Time. And it's so weird because, for me, last time I played Ocarina of Time was on the 3DS, like what, 5 years ago when it came out.
Arguably the definitive version.
Exactly, but that was like what, 5 years ago. So I've been missing this thing.
Final remix.
Every time Kingdom Hearts style.
Oh no, that's great. Square Enix sauce.
Every time I play video games, I never realized that this aspect was missing. This drive. I don't really know how to explain it, but The Legend of Zelda starts off as an adventure and it becomes an experience. And when I say that, I mean Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
Something Daniel mentioned before is like he was trying to, like when he first started playing Breath of the Wild, when he was comparing it against Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm sure his opinion's changed at some
It's
point,
definitely changed.
because he would say like, yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn's a great game, it's beautiful, and it's definitely an experience, whereas
Probably
Breath
one
of the
of the
Wild
games of the year.
is, and then like you're very partial to giving a game.
And I said Breath of the Wild
a game.
is a game, but that was literally within my first 10 hours of it. And then
Now
you
you're
look at
losing
my
sleep.
you look at my time. I checked my time before I came here because
Yeah.
apparently now you can check.
No,
your
yeah,
time.
after 10 days.
After 10 days,
I
you
have
can now check how much
40
your time.
hours in Breath of the Wild.
I only have 25
Thomas
because I
is
have school
75.
and everything.
Who?
Thomas.
You can check what your time now.
After 10 days of
after
playing,
10 days,
it'll actually tell you your
because
time.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
I could check
Wait, where do you
other
check
people,
it?
but I can't see my own.
You go to your profile.
Just go to your profile.
If you look
go
up now,
into
you
your-
can see it.
Listeners,
Either way, so I
you can't
checked.
see, but
Either-
Jesse is literally turning on his Switch.
Yeah, man.
Either way, I've checked my
I want
time,
the guess.
and I have 25 hours in Breath of the Wild. Over 25 hours. There you go.
Yeah, that's
Probably gonna
Switch.
get copywritten for that one.
I think you have like 40.
DMCA.
You have around the same.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
with-
Daniel's played the least.
But I've played these because
I can't see my own
every day.
I can only see everyone else.
If you go, if you
Shit, that's 50 hours
Jesus Christ.
or more.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an more.
Can you check mine?
Okay.
So yeah, mine is 25, but
Yeah.
and I only
G-Bone,
played not even
55 hours or more.
I not even played
Sex Machamp is
That's me?
40 hours or more. And Fast Remix 9 hours. So that's some time
good job,
going
good
on.
job. What am I?
And, Daniel is
Yeah, see 25 or more.
25.
So I barely played Horizon for 10 hours before I got rid of it. So
Yeah.
clearly I stopped that dead in its tracks.
I got a friend request.
And this is after I did the first, I forget what it's called, but let's call it a dungeon for Horizon. There's a couple of them in the game. I did the first one.
Are they called vaults or something?
Something like
Cauldron?
that. Cauldron, that's
Yeah.
it. They're called the Cauldron. I did the first Cauldron.
I call it Crucible.
And that was where I stopped, right when I finished that, because I was like, I can see where this game's going. It looks really good, but right now I have Zelda. In 2 weeks I'll have Mass Effect. And I know it's very unpopular, but after that I'll have Injustice. I love DC, that's why. So I have all these things.
Oh.
Thank you.
I
I
think-
have all these things coming out, so it's like
Yeah.
Horizon, you need to take a seat in the back. I will get to eventually, don't
Gotta get out of
worry.
the way for Zelda.
yeah,
Exactly. So,
I think maybe we.
but what Jesse was saying is, I started out saying Horizon's an experience, Zelda's a game, and then after a couple of hours,
Cool.
it changed to Zelda's an adventure, and then it becomes an experience. Horizon is like a game at this point, and it'll probably change when I go back to that. But right now, it's all about Zelda.
My Nintendo rewards? That's a thing? Again?
I
It's still.
guess.
My rewards is new. You're thinking of
Yeah.
Nintendo Club.
yeah,
Club
they shut Nintendo Club down.
But I think
But,
we
yeah.
talked about Zelda a bit too much. However, I just want to ask you one question because you initially weren't going to get a Switch.
that was
who
all-
who convinced
So
you to get a
I-
Switch?
exactly.
Let's go.
There's
with
this
the-
guy named-
I want to
There's
ask
a
you.
guy named Gilbert. I don't know. I don't have any relation to him. He convinced me to get it, unbeknownst to.
I want to know how this transpired. That's what I'm bringing up here. You initially weren't going to get it. Then soon before the launch,
2 days.
you decided, fuck it, $500 for one game.
You know, okay, you know what I thought?
We're Canadian.
How did it go down, Jesse?
I feel like when Daniel
We were
saw
working
the
together.
Switch, he's like, "Damn, that looks nice."
When we were working together and we finally got them in the store. Yeah.
Yeah, you can like the fact that he saw them, and then we kind of worked out the math on how much he would really have to spend on it. He's like, you know what, this is more tempting than I thought.
Yeah. And you know what it was? It was actually the reviews for Zelda that kind of solidified it. A 98. A 98.
I think it's
How
up
was
to
it gonna-
96 recently. on Metacritic.
97.
How was I going to allow myself...
To miss out on a
To
game.
To be honest,
Exactly.
anything over a 90 in the
Nowadays?
current, in the current like climate for, because I mean, this isn't like 2005 where it's like, oh, fuck it, Assault Calibur 2 or whatever. I don't care.
Put on
Link was
the
in it
game.
at one time, 95. Or like obviously there's a lot more. There's a lot more voices in
You don't see this
games.
very often.
Games.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
changing. It's fucking-
In games criticism,
Yeah, change it.
like there are more voices, And so
Put your Switch away.
people are just naturally more critical, and so achieving something like a 97 is really impressive.
Yeah.
Really, really.
And that's why I couldn't pass it up, and I didn't own a Wii U. And my friends would tell me, like, why'd you buy a Switch just for Zelda? And my answer is, I didn't own a Wii U. And I'm not buying a Switch just for Zelda.
Yeah,
I'm buying a Switch
that's-
for Mario Kart 8 because I didn't own a Wii U. I never did.
The thing to me is, it's funny because I was like, I got a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I'm like, because I got annoyed with dealing with Nintendo's games because I wanted a Switch, but like they were playing dodgy, like, oh, it's not coming with this.
I remember that. You were like, I'm either going to get a Pro or Switch.
Yeah.
You decided on the Pro, and then you have a Switch.
And I'm getting a Switch. The thing that sold me on the Switch it wasn't even Zelda. It wasn't even Mario Odyssey, and keep in mind, my favorite game of all time, as much as before, it was Splatoon 2. Splatoon is one of my favorite games of this generation. Splatoon, and they didn't call it Splatoon, like with a 2 instead of a T.
You gotta just drop the N.
TWON.
Yeah, or that Splatoon. But
See, and I'll get to actually try Splatoon now.
yeah, Splatoon.
Yeah.
You
Before they start
charging.
yeah, motion controller.
At the end
get
of
the
this
fuck out.
month.
Yeah,
Free.
yeah. Test fire, global test fire.
When
Beta.
is that? When does that start?
March
24th.
24th. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
One thing we kind of forgot and got off topic about is still Ubisoft, I guess.
Oh no, I was gonna come back to Ubisoft.
Okay, the thing about, as we've greatly discussed on how good Breath of the Wild is, and again, the other Zelda installments, with Ubisoft, if you look and like play or just any of the Assassin's Creed games, you already know what's going on.
Yeah,
like, you're finding memory fragments. You're
That's
already doing this. It's like it's become so like
You're
cut and
climbing
paste.
towers.
See,
And speaking of climbing towers,
The thing about Zelda, to bring it back there, the reason why we're talking about Zelda so much is because it feels so invigorating.
because it does what Ubisoft wishes
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, like
Or-
they have literally taken. I mean,
I
Ubisoft.
wouldn't say that.
No, but in a few ways,
it does towers right.
Ubisoft had impregnated
It takes-
the.
It takes what Ubisoft was doing and puts it into their game in a way. It doesn't mean that
No,
Ubisoft.
but-
That's a very Apple thing, though.
But here's the thing, though. But yeah, it's like Apple or Blizzard. When Blizzard does something, like they make it their own. Like it's
Oh, no, it's like
top of the class.
but
But
the whole thing about Apple is
Yeah.
that like they would
they take an idea
and they make it better.
Yeah, it's like Blizzard, in my opinion.
Yeah, Blizzard.
But
At Nintendo Polish.
yeah, my thing about it is like the tower system is literally like, hey, why don't you just make an actual tower where you literally can physically see distances and
Exactly.
see things that you need to visually see.
And you can use the tower as a vantage point.
And
if you
yeah,
want to
the
know where
towers-
shrines are, go up the tower.
Towers are fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun.
I got
There's a
every single
mechanic.
one. Every
Yeah.
single one's different. It's like a
climbing
mini
those are all
puzzle.
a different challenge.
I
Yeah.
just did that last night, and the fact that I had to like sneak up that tower that was guarded by guardians,
I like that one
and
you were
I
asking
didn't
about.
like I didn't kill any guardians because I still haven't killed one. But like the fact that I
Really?
got up that tower without dying by a guardian felt so Metal Gear like, and it was so fun. And there's just other ones where there was the tower surrounded by water, and there was
Yeah.
just fucking
Oh,
wizards.
okay.
Like
That's
The
not
mud one.
people
too.
you played.
yeah,
Well, like-
not getting too much to spoil.
Right, right,
just
right.
area.
But I think that speaks to the idea that Zelda feels so fresh of these towers because they're flipping the convention that Ubisoft is just beating over and over in all their games.
Do you-
Even the crew had towers.
oh my god, yeah.
The crew had
Is that
towers.
what they call them, Ubisoft towers?
I mean, they're basically. I mean, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs 2 doesn't have them, which is nice. But like, I mean, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, the crew, Watch
Watch
Dogs
Dogs
1,
had-
Watch
Watch-
Dogs 2
I
did
never played it.
No, Watch Dogs 2 did. That was where they eliminated towers.
Yeah, yeah, but
they
it's
tested
like-
it out and they realized
The
that
thing
it-
is, like, about all these games from Ubisoft, like, I do have some fun with them. Like, preview-wise, seeing a game before it came out, and I was genuinely excited about it coming out, would have to be The Division. I was actually excited for that to come out.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is, you know how Sonic had the Sonic cycle back before everyone got wise. And we're like, okay, we know what's gonna happen here.
You can't-
All right, Sonic Unleashed. You're not fooling me.
The funny thing about it, Sonic, he's such a
You didn't like
two-dimensional
Werehog?
character and goes so far.
No, man, those Werehog, like his arm
go
gets
fast,
all stretchy and shit.
Come
I'm
on,
like,
Werehog. Yeah.
horrible.
Werehog.
But like,
The thing about the Division though is if you played that beta and people played that beta,
I played the fuck out of that beta.
and the thing is you literally played the fuck out of that beta, and you got the game, you're playing the beta.
I mean,
That's what it was.
I mean, that's
And that's
not,
how I felt
that's not necessarily a
personally.
It's
bad
like someone who
thing.
puts out on the first date.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
and that's not a bad thing. Hey,
No, but I mean like in a
respect
game like
someone's agency. No slut shaming. Nobody counts.
but in a game like the
But
Division,
it doesn't
though,
leave anything to
Yeah,
be explored. There's
yeah.
But in
no...
a game like the Division where you played the beta for free and then the game comes out and you drop $90
I don't know,
on it.
I
We're
feel
in
like-
Canada for context, $90 on games.
Yeah.
You
I
drop
understand that.
$90 on a game And then you start playing it and you realize that you're literally doing everything that you've done for the past 20 hours in the beta.
In fairness,
You feel
though,
robbed.
it's a loop based like RPG, like that you just want more of it, and it only limited you to I think the neighborhood of Chelsea or whatever in the.
But when you got out of Chelsea, it's like,
They're-
oh, look, another street, another building.
I don't know, there's a lot more, and I'll give them credit for the New York was pretty good, but like another thing with Ubisoft's games is like they have this predictable cycle of interest. Like, oh, beta, oh that beta looks kind of cool. All right, I might get that game. They get the game, and then after they get the game, it's just like, oh, it's been a week. Okay. And then it's been a week, and it's out of the cycle. Like, For Honor. Well, who's talking about For Honor?
Yeah.
For Honor has been dusted.
I've been noticing because the channel I visit most, they've been paying them a lot to play Ubisoft games. And
Yeah.
the past week, they've been putting out Division, For Honor
there it is.
and Wildlands,
Wildlands,
games.
yeah.
And there's been like multiple For Honor ones. I mean, I had For Honor for 10 days.
Well, Wildlands
For
is
reasons.
just the Division of Bolivia.
I stopped watching them.
I mean,
For Honor
in my
is
opinion,
boring to watch.
I just kind of leave it on the background. And I like listening to them talk.
Wildlands
Yeah.
kind of looks like
like a
stilted
podcast.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
So not as interesting. It doesn't feel as good to play.
Well, the thing is, when I played the beta for it, because that's my experience, it's nice to play with people, but
yeah.
outside of that, again, it just feels like Just Cause with a more tactical twist.
It's as if Just Cause and the Division had a baby, basically.
I mean, but the Division,
A horrible, ugly.
the thing about the Division, there's so many different variables to your character that you could just become a tank at one point or change
Yeah.
the way it works.
Well, all the enemies in that game were tanks.
Exactly, but then in this one,
Jesus Christ.
no enemy. Everything here is
One shot, two
more,
shot.
yeah, one shot, two shot kind of thing. It's
Or
you have to
one line with
be.
the-
At least they learned.
Yeah, well, no, that's not like them learning. This is part of the Ghost Recon
Yeah, the
series.
Ghost
of being-
Recon is more tactical. It's
Yeah.
1-2 shots. Bang, bang.
To reel it back a bit, if you're done with talking about the Division,
Go.
I just want to have a counterpoint to the whole tower discussion. I was thinking about it, and I want your opinion on this thing. Like, when the next Assassin's Creed does eventually come out,
Rumored Egypt.
of course, yeah,
Granted,
definitely.
the screen rolling.
But when it does eventually come
as a
out,
shield.
if there aren't towers in it, would you feel like there's something missing? Because it's such a staple of an Assassin's Creed game.
Obelisks.
Yeah, yo,
There you
straight
go.
up obelisks. Yo, straight up pyramids.
No,
you just
the
skip
object
pyramids.
doesn't matter.
I don't have
Yeah.
issues with towers if they do it the right way.
But
As in,
we were talking
right way,
about how bad it was.
But right way being not again to go back to Breath of the Wild. And I'm not saying just because Breath of the Wild is new. There's other games that have done it the right way. I just can't think of any at the top of my head. But where they make you work for it, where it's actually a mission in itself to climb that tower. You play an Assassin's Creed game, you literally look for the next foothold. And
It
you
seems
climb
like a
it.
chore.
Yeah, it feels definitely.
It's like now I gotta take 2 minutes out of my gaming time to climb this tower, and
Yeah.
you literally just have to hold up and A or X depending on where you're
and
playing,
automatic scale.
and you automatically scale it. Exactly.
But what we were saying is not specifically Assassin's Creed, but
All
Ubisoft
these
as a whole
But
recycles the same formula.
exactly, and it goes to what you're asking about if it's in Egypt, if they do it again, or whatever, if it's in Egypt or not. But
Probably is.
if they do it again, if they do a tower mechanic, let's say for example it is in Egypt, they do an obelisk or a pyramid,
Pyramids.
and there's elements to climbing it where it's an actual mission to do so,
If
not where it's like an actual mission. Where it's got
Well, I
a
feel
title,
like they
but,
would
it's
do
a-
that because I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that in an Assassin's Creed game they would put a tower or the synchronization spots,
But the only thing is that
in a restricted area.
exactly the furthest they ever got was that it was guarded, heavily guarded.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you
It's not
sleep
bad.
sleep
Yeah.
dart a couple people, you can get away.
Didn't Brotherhood do a thing?
Yeah, the boards are towers.
Oh,
Yeah, and Syndicate did a whole thing where you would take a Did anyone play Syndicate here besides me?
Syndicate and Unity were just clusterfucks. If you thought
Syndicate was awesome.
If you thought the
Syndicate was
Witcher,
better. I
thought
if
Syndicate
you
was
thought
good.
the Witcher map was cluttered,
You can't.
Okay.
nothing beats Unity.
Syndicate.
Unity was.
Nothing. You can't even see the
Oh,
street in Unity.
yeah, Unity was a
do
sprinkled
you remember
donut.
do you remember the E3 conference where we were like, look at these icons? And I'm like, yeah, I
You
can't see
realize
anything
how
but the
hot,
icons.
hot and cold you were? Unity is probably the worst Assassin's Creed, and Syndicate
I mean, it
is
was just
arguably the
unprepared.
best one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the
Oh,
worst.
Syndicate's the best one.
I wouldn't say Syndicate's the best
Better
either.
than 2 or Brotherhood.
I still
Try
found,
playing 2 now.
I still found.
I mean-
okay. I still found Syndicate a chore. You want to know what I enjoyed? Again, going back to one of my favorites, Black Flag. You know what the towers were? The forts. You had to conquer a fort.
Yeah.
And yeah, each island it had an individual synchronized point, but for the overall map where you're sailing around, there were 4 or 5 forts in each corner of the map or around.
I only played the game for 5 hours.
And
I don't
every
know.
time you
100%
conquer,
that game.
yeah, I platinumed it. Every time you conquer a fort, that was when it opened up a part of the map, and that's what it made you work for. There was actually a mission attached to it where like not like a mission structure, but there was a sense of an achievement when you finished, not just climbing a structure.
And those ghost ships, did you beat them all?
Oh my god, the ghost ships!
They're like the weapons for Final Fantasy VII. It's like something that you don't need to do, but like if you want to, like it. Black Flag was a good.
So that's what
Assassin's
I'm
Creed
saying. Like they learned with that, and then Unity came out, and it was just kind of like, were you guys?
I mean,
paying attention?
they're taking a step back.
Unity is.
What?
I'm glad that they're taking a step back. Like,
Oh.
we're not getting yearly.
They definitely need a year off.
I don't think
Maybe
Unity
like
necessarily.
2 or 3.
I think Unity had
I want one this
ambition.
year.
I just don't think they had the time.
The thing about Unity though
They
is that
didn't have the
also
time.
They literally redid Ezio with Unity.
Yeah,
The French Revolution.
They try to.
How do you go from being the pirates and the beautiful, the Caribbean, like
See, but the
how do you
thing
go
is-
from that and then back to a rusted cityscape?
Ubisoft only knows how to really do 3 characters.
You know what? You know what really screwed up
Ultimately.
Unity is
The engine,
everything.
Anvil engine. That was the first one they changed it.
the emphasis on multiplayer co-op. Because they
Oh,
put
yeah,
they
that
put
was
more
dumb.
effort. They put
That
more
was
effort
dumb.
into
That
the
was dumb.
drop in drop out co-op than they did.
What I was
the
disappointed
single
is they like publicized that co-op as being something more than it was. If you actually did that co-op, you were limited to
crap.
like
It's
you were
crap.
limited to 5 separate co-op missions. I thought I could actually co-op the
Was it
entire
like
game.
the what's it called? The Splinter Cell Blacklist co-op?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Wait, another Ubisoft title.
You know,
Oh,
you know, in MMOs,
The
there's
numbers
like
mean
instances
Mason.
that you go into.
It's in the numbers.
Was it?
Does anyone play an MMO and then you go into like an instance? It's like
Yeah.
a dungeon
Yeah.
where it's separate from the main. That's what those co-op things.
Yeah, but they
'Cause
were not nearly as interesting. as
Well,
the
yeah,
instances
they
stuff.
weren't good at all. That's the
Yeah.
problem. The worst part was what
Right.
they put the most resources
Yeah.
into.
Yeah, it's
Were they rewarding at all? Like
No.
Sometimes you can get a chest, but like sometimes the chest would be locked because it's like connected to the internet and you can't open it.
my chest isn't connected to Abstergo.
Sorry, you're not connected to UbiPlay.
So
You're trying to get.
You don't think that Unity was the worst Assassin's Creed?
It was, but I'm just saying, Assassin's Creed. Like, I don't know what they need to do because I'm not a game designer, and ultimately that comes for all of us. But
Yeah.
there's fun to, like when Assassin's Creed becomes like the whipping boy, when it becomes like the metric, which is like how far is your game from Assassin's Creed?
See, but what I also
Like-
am worried about the next Assassin's Creed game is Ubisoft stated, and I'm pretty sure, like loosely paraphrasing, that when Watch Dogs 2 came out, they said that they've learned, and in the direction that they're going to go, is less story focused, more emphasis on the world and what you can do in it, and making it a playground. And they said that with Watch Dogs 2, and it's evident if you play Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
There's so much shit to do in that world.
That's
Did you finish
cool.
it? Where you can literally like
There's stuff.
you
Yeah,
can literally
that's
just
good.
fuck off and ignore the story.
Good.
And
Yeah.
the emphasis is on the character interactions and whatnot, not the actual story. And that worries me for Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed games are good when they have a story.
See, but maybe. Well, I mean,
I mean, you look at Arno.
I don't know.
Arno,
Assassin's Creed.
Arno
you,
was just a whip off of Ezio.
You
That's not
kind
a
of
story.
contradict yourself though. When Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed 4, it's just him going, I'm a fucking
Assassin's
assassin, I don't
Creed
give a shit."
story hasn't been good.
But
Don't
the
eat
point of
some
Assassin's
apples.
Creed 4, what I'm saying, the point of Assassin's Creed 4 is how the characters made that story. Edward's interactions with all the other pirates, you're looking at Blackbeard, you're looking at,
Okay.
I forget what the other, fuck the guy's name was, he ended up betraying him at some point in the game.
Barbosa.
I mean, it was the interactions with the characters that drove the story towards the end point, and then when you actually get to that point where Edward turns and goes like, you know what, this isn't fair. Like, I want to be a part of this cause towards the end. That's when you see all the development play off, because he only made that decision after he watched his friend die for that cause, and he was like, they're actually going to get away with this. And I mean, like, it's the character interactions that drove that story. Whereas Ubisoft is kind of like, we're putting story on the back burner and just making it more of a playground.
Yeah.
And that's what worries me for the next Assassin's Creed, because you want to know what Assassin's Creed game was more of a playground? Unity.
But
With the amount of shit you can
keep
do in
in
that.
mind.
Hold on.
Okay. You
Sorry.
give a hot take.
So I just was waiting for him to finish. See that what everything you just said just added to my point that Assassin's Creed 4 should not have been an Assassin's Creed game.
No, I don't think it should have been.
Because it had a great story that had nothing to do with Assassin's Creed.
No, exactly.
He
And it
didn't
should not
even
have been.
technically be an assassin
No,
until
he
the last
became-
scene of the game.
He became an assassin at
He's-
the end, and then, like, what,
Yeah.
5 years later, he was killed. Like, it's not...
It had nothing to do with the.
Spoilers.
Oh, that's like, what, 2012?
Yeah, come on, we gotta get the limit on it.
2013.
Spoilers.
The game came out on 360 and Wii U. Come on.
Hey, shout out to you.
But...
Pour one out for Wii U.
I agree with you, but Shuga, you were gonna say...
I was gonna say,
Wait, why? That's not you.
but it's like,
Nintendo.
but I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're trying to make it more of a playground. I mean, arguably, in my opinion, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 had a lot of problems, but its gameplay was like easily one of the best playing games I've ever played. Like the amount of stuff you can do in that game from a playability standpoint is massive.
That's an unpopular decision for me. Is Metal Gear Solid 5 is not a good game.
I mean, I think mechanically, it as a third-person action game, it's pretty smooth. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you can really argue against
Everything
that.
else, though, in my opinion,
I mean, that's give or take here or there, but it's not such a bad thing if they decide to go with something that is more interactive and more lore-based, kind of like Dark Souls.
But if you're going
I'm not saying
lore-based,
everything should be Dark Souls, but if they're gonna do lore, the story you have to figure out.
if you're going lore-based, though, then doesn't that fall into story realm? Because if you look at Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they have a heavy story if you're able to interpret
Yeah,
it.
but it's lore. A lot of it is lore, and I mean, if they have the writers, and honestly, I don't think they do. I really don't think they do. I can't think of the last Ubisoft game where I'm like, oh, the story's great. Like, Child of Light story. Honestly, I wanted to punch myself in the face so hard. The rhyming, oh my god, I could not stand that rhyming. It was terrible. I mean, Watch Dogs 2, based on what I've seen and played, it was good, but I heard like it really falls apart. People can speak to that, but
Speaking of Ubisoft, oh sorry.
speaking of this Ubisoft roast, but
Sorry. Did you guys hear that they're working on an Avatar game?
aren't they working on Avatar
Which
3, 4, 5,
Avatar?
or 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, or whatever the movies?
Yeah. So I
think it was James Cameron said he'd prefer to work on Avatar till the day he dies, which is just won't be long.
Can anyone remember?
only
He
get
literally just said, "I just want money till the day I die."
We'll only get about 2
I know.
Avatars before he dies.
Is anyone excited for an Avatar sequel?
Okay,
I think
so
that train is.
I mean, there's that sentiment.
Sailed.
That sentiment going around. If you ask anyone about Avatar, it's like, okay, Avatar was a big deal when it came out, but can you remember anything about this movie?
What was his name? Jack Sully?
Jack Sully
It was
getting,
awesome at the time.
getting
Yeah,
unobtainium and
Avatar-
ponytail fucking or whatever.
It was called unobtainium for real.
It was.
It was.
It's called unobtainium.
God.
Avatar.
If you needed a bigger MacGuffin, I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. It would literally come out of a briefcase and go gold.
It's like, we need the unobtainium.
Avatar was basically, now hear me out, Avatar was basically episode 4. Think of it this way. Episode 4 was only made by George Lucas, or one of the reasons it was made,
Wait,
one of the main reasons,
hold on.
was to push the technology.
But
He was to show what this kind of technology can do. When Avatar came out, they were like, look at what we could do.
Hold on.
Okay, wait. You first or me first?
I'll go.
Am I about to get roasted right now? Let's go.
Yeah, you're about to get split fired.
All right.
But like, the thing about episode 4, A New Hope, the thing about it is that it had things like it was a space opera that was accessible to a lot of people. A lot of people weren't fucking with Star Trek at the time. Here you have this popcorn munching, obviously great special effects. Like obviously just still people are still coming for practical effects and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that the movie did was a leap forward, but also the story was told with enough heart and stuff that I can still remember lines from that movie.
Yeah.
I can remember things specifically from New Hope.
Yeah, no,
that I
that's
cannot
not what I'm
remember.
saying.
But well, you're kind of seeing it though.
What I'm saying is George
Hair
Lucas
sex.
likes to jerk
No.
off into a pool of like technology
Yeah,
and
but-
look what it can do.
Okay, so-
and that's what Avatar was like, look at what the technology of the day can do. And that's why it was so popular when it came out.
The other end of what I got, Chuka didn't bring up my point, and as you mentioned, it's like George Lucas's mind bringing A New Hope in is where you're almost right. It's before he rose to fame.
Yeah.
he had people telling
saying,
him,
"What the fuck you
no,
doing, dog?"
no, that stupid dog." Like
Yeah,
that's what he was saying. Like-
Lawrence Kasdan wasn't around for episode 1. He was
1, 2, and 3 is just you literally took him off a leash and he did whatever he wanted,
and also
and no one would say no to him because it's George
Yeah.
Lucas. You can't say no to him.
Lawrence Kasdan came back for episode 7, didn't he? And that movie's good.
I wonder.
I wonder why. Because
It's they're
I'm not saying, I'm not here arguing George Lucas is a god.
Yeah,
That man-
no. Like it's
No, he's got some problems.
we're just saying when he lost people, when he lost no people and he gained yes men, he started to think like he can spunk into a pool of like tomatoes and that'd be like
it'd be midichlorians.
It's like the midichlorians. Like he lost his way.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with that. But then obviously you have Avatar, which I mean, I personally honestly don't like James Cameron. I think Aliens is far inferior to Alien.
Oh,
You know
of
what?
course, of course.
I think Alien is far better than Aliens.
You don't like Titanic?
Isn't
No.
it the whole joke where it's like he just walked into a room and wrote alien with an S and then put a
Yeah.
dollar sign?
oh, Oh, another Android?
Speaking of someone who said they'd prefer to make movies until they die, Ridley Scott said he'd prefer to do Alien movies until he dies.
He's
now.
making Prometheus sequel.
Okay, wait. So
God.
I never watched Prometheus. I don't because
neither did
people recommend it and don't all at the same time.
Yeah.
And then there's
That movie got bashed when it came out, and now now that's getting a sequel. Everyone's like, you should go back and watch Prometheus.
I don't
But is it? Wait, this movie coming out. It's called Aliens Covenant.
Alien Covenant,
Alien Covenant.
which is a sequel to Prometheus, but a prequel to Alien.
I can't have anyone ruin Alien for me. Can't have it.
Wasn't there like an argument when Prometheus came out whether or not it was actually an alien?
Exactly.
What people?
But then there's an alien at the end of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It's as confused
if
as
you
the
remove that alien
10
out,
Cloverfield Lane, whether
it's-
it's a sequel or not.
Well, that's the thing that they picked up 10 Cloverfield.
I still never
Lane
saw
at
the
end.
movie, and I really want to.
I still want to see that movie.
Please don't spoil that.
I won't.
Well, no,
I
the
really
whole
want
thing
to
is
see the movie.
it fits within the Cloverfield universe,
And
but,
that's why I need to figure
but
out how.
it doesn't do that until the last 10 minutes.
I think it's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
like saying wait till the end of Split to see the big reveal.
Oh, hey.
What's Split?
Shut up. we can't get into this. We can't get into this.
Let's reverse this down. You're already asking too much.
You're asking too many questions. Like it's hard to talk about it, but like it's with 10 Cloverfield Lane, like the whole thing was that originally they didn't have someone to
They
produce it because it was
yeah.
sitting on the side in like post production hell.
Weren't you talking about aliens?
Not aliens. Was that aliens or
We're on Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, Cloverfield Lane.
Oh.
But yeah, the thing set like
We started with Ubisoft, and now we're all the way over here.
Yeah.
until like the company that owns Cloverfield picked it up. They decided
Yeah.
to like let's like film some more stuff and bring it into the universe.
Yeah.
But the thing, the big part of that, like the beginning and the middle and most of the end, is an entirely different movie.
Yeah.
But like
That's just sort of a best case scenario that they're able to reel it into the Cloverfield universe.
I mean, they did it well enough that I wasn't like thrown like, oh god, I didn't see that coming. Like,
John Goodman's excellent, man.
Yeah.
Anything.
So
he's in.
what you're saying is that Ubisoft
Big
wishes they
Lebowski.
could do all this.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like
Long story
Ubisoft.
short.
Yeah, Ubisoft. They have the structure, and
we're
they
still
definitely
talking
like
about
sit down and talk. They definitely sit down and talk like this is definitely what would make a good game, and they do have that. They have like. If you wrote down on paper before any of the Assassin's Creed game came out, and I told you about like a stealth game with like a big open world, you can approach it your own way.
I mean,
it sounds great, but then
Yeah.
it fell into so much a pattern that it just stopped being magical, and then the
Yeah.
people got desensitized to that genre because it came out year after year after year.
like think
I remember
about,
the day they announced that it was going annual. Oh,
Think
I was
about
in high school.
Assassin's
I remember that
Creed.
day.
Think about Ubisoft before Assassin's Creed. They were making like fucking Pandora Tomorrow, Prince of Persia. Forget me, War Within, and fucking Sands of Time, Beyond Good and Evil. They're making great games.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But
Ape Escape.
Isn't that fucking? That's Sony.
That's not a Ubisoft game.
It is. I was looking it up.
Is it
Ape
really?
Escape?
Ape Escape is Ubisoft.
Prove it.
Shit.
But that was Sony Entertainment.
Oh no, he's right. So it's complicated. It is a Sony game, but at one point, I'm pretty sure Ubisoft did publish an Ape Escape game.
So they kind of acted as a second party.
I think so.
Oh, Ape Escape 2. Sorry.
Yeah,
Kind of like how Retro
Ubisoft games.
makes a
No, but
Like Donkey Kong games for
no, but
Nintendo?
they're owned by Nintendo. Retro.
yeah. Oh, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they
So
were
a little
owned by
different
Sony.
situation.
Yo, they have a hold on Batman games for like the early 2000s. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, I mean they did shit like Rise of Sin Tzu and shit. I remember.
Right, Vengeance, Gotham City Racers, and like Return of the Joker.
Yeah, those games were crap. Those games are horrible.
So I guess back to your initial question, can Ubisoft? What was it? Can they come back?
Can Ubisoft make a Breath of the Wild? Can Ubisoft make an Overwatch? Can Ubisoft
I have
can
a good-
Ubisoft make any of these games that are like show-stopping? They have Ubisoft Shanghai, Ubisoft
Montreal.
They have 3 different Ubisoft places in Quebec alone. They have Quebec City, or unless Montpellier is France, but they have Montreal and Quebec City.
I'm gonna say no, simply because
Okay.
simply because you got to look at all the factors that play into it. One being, and it's something that you hit on, where almost every Ubisoft game bleeds that initial formula.
Yeah, every Ubisoft game. They have this. They have
the Ubisoft sauce.
There's a feel about you know when you're playing. If someone were to like remove all the watermarks from like a pre-alpha build of a game, remove everything that could remind me of Ubisoft, I'm like, damn, this kind of plays like a Ubisoft game.
Yeah, and
you would know.
That's literally the blood of almost every Ubisoft game.
Ubiquitous software.
Exactly, and then when you factor in, I mean, you probably can't correlate the two of them, but then when you factor in like the whole Vivendi thing, that applies.
Vendi's creeping.
That applies pressure,
Yeah.
and if you're trying to, I mean, with Vivendi creeping, you can't take time to put a game out because you don't know how much time you have.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to get a game out, hoping that it'll be the next Breath of the Wild, so that like people you can get support again. Cause remember when what was it last year where Ubisoft put out a call basically saying like, hey,
please help us.
Please help us. Like, buy our stuff. Like, buy our shares, buy into everything so that we can stop Vivendi. And the thing is, if you have Vivendi creeping up behind you really fast, what they own over what 30? Is it over 30% or close to 30%?
They own a significant margin.
The most, right?
They're close to breaking the point where they can make a bid, and it's just like you have that there. You can't take your time to put out a game. Like the Assassin's Creed game will come out this year. Because it has to. Yeah. If it comes out next year, you've given Vivendi another full 250 days or whatever, like a huge chunk of time to buy more stock, and then you have your biggest title is Assassin's Creed. You don't even have that out in the wild.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have time to, and personally, I don't think they will. I mean, you never know. Maybe these 3 years off for Assassin's Creed will. Maybe instead of making only one Ubisoft company or like subsidiary work on Assassin's Creed, they brought in Montreal and Quebec, both of them, to work on the game.
But that's what they've been doing this whole time.
Yeah. Well, no, it's been one or the other.
They've been.
Assassin's Creed Unity had Ubisoft Toronto, Ubisoft Montreal.
They had all that.
Yeah. They had like 7 or 8 studios.
They splintered a lot.
Because I thought because it was annual, I thought
Ubisoft,
Montreal did one in
which game?
No.
Ubisoft Unity. What's the difference? Assassin's Creed Unity.
No, but okay.
So I don't think they can.
All they needed to do was what they did. For fans of Assassin's Creed, and that's take a year off, because anyone like that year was like a good.
2014 was also a garbage year.
Remember, they didn't say they took it off. They refused to say they took that year off. They said no. They say we didn't take the year off. We got Assassin's Creed movie coming out this year.
Yeah.
I predict that game will sell really well this year.
It will sell because people need an Assassin's Creed.
People are I'm an Assassin's Creed fan. I am looking forward to that. I don't even know.
Oh shit! Okay, so Ubisoft Montreal is the lead developer of the project, which is Assassin's Creed Unity, with the contributing work from Ubisoft Studios, Toronto, Kyiv, Singapore, Shanghai, Annecy, Montpellier, Bucharest. I don't say that. Pucharest. Bucharest. Quebec and Chengdu.
That's like 9 studios.
And it
was spearheaded though by the one.
They just opened a studio in the Philippines last year.
Black Flag was spearheaded by Quebec, even though they still provided aid.
You know what they might need to do?
I think they need to take their entire Assassin's Creed catalog of teams.
I think they need to make it like 1 or 2 studios. I think they need maybe if it means shrinking the scale, making more detailed. I think them going like, we need you to make our assets in fucking Ukraine. It's not working. If all these people making our assets just throwing it at you, like Unity felt like a game designed by committee. Like it felt like a game.
It did.
It's like it felt like a game where everyone's going to like a potluck and like, oh, you brought a cake too? Oh shit.
Mine's a co-op
That's
cake.
such a good way to describe it.
No, yeah, literally. Oh, you bought face assets? I did too, and that's why they never connected. Melting faces because assets were crushing into each other. Ever try to put mods on a PC game?
Wait, he's doing faces. I'm doing faces. All right, so I guess I'll do texturing.
You do 0001.
But then everyone forgot about faces.
Yeah, it's like oh, yo, you do faces? Yo. Okay, we'll go halfsies on some faces, and then everything will be good.
You know what's really sad about Unity? Staying on Unity, what was really sad is the fact that Elise was the best looking character in that game.
You know what's sad about Unity
detail?
You know what?
They put more detail in Elise than any
Unity is probably the prettiest Assassin's Creed game ever. It's just runs
Syndicate looks good.
Honestly, the reason it runs so bad is because this fucking Anvil engine. Remember they were like touting the Anvil engine. They're like, look at this engine that we have. Look at me, we can fit 200 people.
No, it was like 1,000 people.
It was a large amount of people, and that's what broke the game.
If they made it like 200, it'd be easier.
You know what the best part? You know what the best part about Unity is? That the first scene in Unity is the last scene of Rogue.
Was it really?
What was the first scene in Unity again?
I like that. Whoever does continuity there, good job.
Yeah, it was really.
What was the first?
Because they came out at the same time. Maybe we should.
Unity's. That's when Ubisoft was still going like, here you go, little last gen.
Is that the one where Arnold's with his dad in the thing?
And his dad gets assassinated. Yeah.
Does his dad get assassinated by the guy from Rogue?
The guy you play as. Yeah.
Get out! That's
you do it. You do it.
You kill him.
You walk in the same hallway. Yeah. And you kill Arno's dad.
That's kind of like having.
That's dope.
I know, right?
That's kind of like having like your game on GameCube and Game Boy Advance. Put together.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is play the first 10 minutes of Assassin's Creed Unity to get the link, because the rest of it doesn't connect at all.
But
it's still a nice kind of. It's kind of like taking like Pink Floyd's The Wall and then you fucking loop it back to the.
So in this hour of roasting Ubisoft, why is Siege a success?
Siege is a success.
Wait. I wanted to say something about before we move on.
Can we get off Ubisoft? I don't want this to be
No.
an entire Ubisoft
They
podcast.
must die.
Okay, Ubisoft. I don't. Okay, to answer your question, I wanted to answer your question. I don't think Ubisoft will ever have a game like Breath of the Wild. I mean, that's setting the bar pretty high.
No,
but
yeah, it's just more rhetorical.
So what are they?
But I
like,
think-
just
I
like
think-
a B tier
okay.
all the time now?
you know how you eat peanut butter sandwiches or peanut butter toast for breakfast every
I love peanut
every
butter
day.
toast. I can't-
But occasionally you're gonna have pancakes and bacon.
No,
bacon.
with
First
it's
of all,
waffles.
first of all,
you opened the can of worms!
Let's move on. Just let me finish.
get up.
Assassin's Creed is like that peanut butter. It might not be amazing, but it's comfortable
Okay,
and it's reliable and it does something you know you're gonna like
that's true.
and enjoy. You know what to expect.
I
It's
do love
like the
peanut butter.
junk food of video games.
That's
Like the same reason I pick up a Spider-Man game every time it comes out. It's because I want to play a Spider-Man.
In fairness, if we can ever get the majesty of Spider-Man 2 again,
Well, who's working on it right now? Insomniac?
Insomniac,
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy that game.
Yeah.
See, Breath of the Wild has made it hard for me to enjoy a bunch of open world games, but the idea of possibly getting a Spider-Man 2 quality
Life after
open
Breath of
world.
the Wild.
Yeah, I know. Basically, it's like releasing a rap album after Good Kid, Mad City, the first Kendrick Lamar album. Why would you do it? But still,
Side note, I love how we said we didn't want to date ourselves, and all we've been talking about is Breath of the Wild.
hey man, Breath of the Wild.
We're gonna be talking about that game.
It's impossible not to date ourselves.
Oh,
I don't think
hey
how we're
man,
gonna get
let's talk
around
about
that.
Half-Life 2. That's gonna date us. No, Half-Life 2 is life. But yeah, but like,
I'll look up local
We'll
news.
throw them off. Hey guys, wasn't Half-Life 3 awesome?
Half-Life was amazing. I don't know about that monkey though.
Final,
What was your
Yeah,
thoughts
no.
on doing it in VR though?
I don't know. That's just kind of wild.
final, I guess,
Blowjob seems a little weird.
consensus. Final consensus on Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, I agree with Gerald. I think I was asking a question that I inside maybe knew, but I just want to see what everyone else was thinking. But Ubisoft they won't ever have an open world game that's. I don't even know what Red Dead 2 is gonna be, but they're not gonna have Red Dead 2. They're not gonna have a Breath of the Wild. They're not gonna even have a Horizon. That's the Horizon thing. Horizon's probably one of the best games of the year, but they're not gonna have that either. They don't have any of those games. But if they can consistently put out games, I guess that's good enough. I mean, for me, I could just elect
But
to
if they
not.
consistently put out games that's good enough, then what happens with the whole Vivendi thing?
I mean,
They're not going to get the support they need.
see, the problem with that is if Vivendi's like, okay, if they get a majority share, like, all right, fuck, you guys are only releasing one game. Now we want 2 games a year. Because that's Vivendi been doing that before. Like,
Yeah, they
if
just
you remember
burn
correctly,
companies to the ground.
they own Activision, and Activision fuck to get out from their thumb. So they might just go like, oh, wait, you got a done Just Dance? Can you have like 5 or 6 Just Dances a year? We know that makes money, and then you're getting, I don't know, you're getting like micro Just Dances, like Just Dance Nightcore or whatever. You're getting all
Oh my
these.
god, I can see that happening.
You're getting all these weird small Just Dances.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough. Just
They,
Dance.
they gotta
like
bring
this
in
year
that
will
Just Dance dagger and Caribbean.
Yeah, Just Dance Soca Blood.
But you bringing up Just Dance just sort of compounds my opinion on Ubisoft in general. That's their business model.
Yeah,
their business
exactly.
model is
Exactly.
annualizing their games. It's
Yeah.
not we're gonna take 5 years and then release GTA 5.
See, but the
or
thing about it
however
though,
long it took.
it just seems like that's what they want though. Like they seem they're hungry for glory. If you see like their stats and like, oh, the crew, they'll release the crew, and I'll be like, oh, get E3 awards. It's like this game is terrible. We know it's terrible, but they'll be like, oh, well, it won this award from IGN. I mean, there's only 2 other racing.
Nah,
games
man,
nominated.
those awards shouldn't exist. Cause look at No Man's Sky.
Hey,
A lot of awards should not exist.
yeah, don't
Like, I know
don't forget,
how many E3 of the show or best of show E3 awards has No Man's Sky won?
Hey, don't forget Evolve.
Jesus
That
Christ.
post hype. My final thoughts on Ubisoft is it UB tier soft at its go.
Nice.
That is literally it.
Succinct.
I mean, they will always have games that I will enjoy for a period of time, but
Yeah.
they lose a
Zero.
lot to like longevity.
Yeah, like Daryl said, it'll junk food. It will be a McDouble. You will eat that McDouble, and then you'll be done with the McDouble.
But the thing is, we realize it's an industry, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's that's what it is, and you have to. That's an evil that we have to live with, and instead of getting the things we want, we'll see more things turn into Dead Space 3.
Oh my god.
Rest in peace, Dead Space.
Jesus, I was just gonna
Rest
say
in
that.
peace, Dead Space.
I was just gonna say
Dead
Dead
Space
Space.
is such an amazing game. That original Dead Space. I never played Dead Space 2, but I always wanted to. I'm gonna give it back and eventually play it, but
You know when someone says like, "Hey man, I'm gonna start smoking cigarettes," like you shouldn't smoke cigarettes, you get addicted to that,
Yeah.
and then you'll see them smoke it. Like them as a person is Dead Space 1 is normal. They haven't started smoking. Dead Space 2 is I think I'll start smoking, and you can slowly see it changing. Dead Space 3 they're smoking darts like 3 packs a day.
Yeah.
That was my experience with WoW.
But anyways, Geralt of Rivia.
Final thoughts.
Or
Ubisoft.
I should say, sorry, Gerald of Rivia. You gotta change your name.
Girl.
You gotta legally change your name.
Gibraltar of Rivia.
It's the same name, it's just pronounced differently.
Yeah, it's just,
I'm pronouncing however the fuck I want.
Well, I kind of already made
it's just
my
mad
point.
Polish.
If we call you
It's-
Geralt, you'll respond to that anyway.
Exactly, so you're Geralt to me now.
I'll respond to whatever you tell me
Can we
to.
call it gear shift?
Gear shift.
Yes! Oh my god, yes.
Okay, so you
My
already gave
point basically that
quickly is...
They already
Ubisoft
made-
will... Yeah, quickly. Ubisoft will never be one of those...
They will be. Or nothing. No, never A.
Go.
Never A.
They will never be one of those, you know, we're going to release a game and you're going to be talking about for 5 years type
Yep.
of
Yep.
thing. But they're going to
Hey, we're still talking about Assassin's Creed 2.
No, that one title.
I guess.
Oh, no. But they'll keep coming out with games and you'll pick them up and enjoy
No, I
them.
won't.
You're never going to pick Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed. You're going to buy the next Assassin's Creed.
No, he's not.
Hell no!
You don't know Chuka.
Hell no!
Chuka is the proponent.
Even before Breath of the Wild, I was gonna do it, but after, it's like this
Chuka-
woman is really good. It's like, hey, do you want this kebab I found on the ground? No, I'm good.
3 out of 4 of the people in this room are going to pick up Assassin's Creed.
Chuka, the type that had the
You played the
Assassin's
last
Creed
one.
grave dug before the game.
You played Syndicate. You said it wasn't that bad.
Oh, I watched some of it and I'm like, no, I'm not playing that.
Chuka's the one that'll have the Assassin's Creed
Although I
grave
will
dug.
say one thing I did
2
like about,
out of the 4 people in this room are definitely going to pick up the next
I did
Assassin's
like one
Creed.
thing about 2015 though. It was the year of Victorian England for whatever reason.
Yo, Bloodborne.
That was alright. The Order, even though the game sucked, but you know, pretty. And Assassin's Creed was there. That's something.
That's something.
They were there.
You should pick up Syndicate.
Your final thoughts.
I already said I don't think that they can ever come back.
Never come back.
No.
They're always going to be the B tier of games now.
Yeah.
And that's what we're missing. Like,
You know what happened to the last B tier of
Rest in
game
peace,
company?
THQ.
Thank you. The last B tier company, what happened to them? THQ. And
Aren't they
the
Nordic now? THQ.
THQ Nordic.
The thing is, Nordic bought a bunch of THQ
Yeah.
games and took a couple employees, and they were like, you know, out of respect, THQ Nordic.
Yeah.
That's basically what they did.
No, I also think they're trying to get. I don't think that's. I think they're like, hey, we can trade on this name. Kind of like how those fucks at Infogame or whatever took the Atari name.
No,
and
see,
made
they're
a
not
bunch of terrible
riding
things.
on THQ thinking it's good. They're just like, nah, respect.
No, I think they're. I
Think so?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get that Army Men money. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get that SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom money.
They have Ezio in that.
yeah, they're trying to get, like,
What about the Darksiders series? Do you think they'll finish that off?
I hope so.
They're planning to
I think
release
the
the third.
Darksiders series.
I
has
hope so.
a
Do you think
lot
the
of-
third one is gonna wait? What do they name their horsemen in this? Strife or something?
Pestilence or Strife and Pestilence.
The only one that's not the real one is
Strife.
Fury, I think, is the girl.
Oh, then it's Fury and Strife then.
Yeah, Strife. Strife's the guy with the guns.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Strife and Fury. Because
I think it's
So
Strife
Strife takes over Pestilence, right?
Pestilence and Famine
Pestilence and Famine.
are replaced with Strife and Fury.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I never played 2, but 2 went in a completely different direction from 1. One
I really
was
enjoyed
That's the good thing about
one.
it.
I
I really
really one
enjoyed
was a fake Zelda that I can get behind. I enjoyed that game, but 2 was kind of this weird like
It's Diablo-esque.
yeah Diablo-esque and it's like not as good.
Yeah.
It's
So-
different. I wouldn't say it's not as good. It's just different, which is good. I mean,
It's different, but I still don't think it's as good as its influences though. But yeah.
well, yeah, it's like a Diablo clone kind of.
Well, okay, so we have that thought on Ubisoft.
Okay,
What
so
would be... Where do we go from here?
With Ubisoft.
oh yeah, what I brought up. Why is Rainbow Six Siege such a success?
Well, we're
Why?
still on Ubisoft. I think we need to leave.
Oh, I thought you meant you want to
Ubisoft.
leave Ubisoft. All right, we'll save it for another time. What else? Can we talk about? What is on the magical sheet?
let's leave the one thing that Ubisoft was good at. So
And we can pause this, right?
Of course.
yeah, of course we can. I mean, in fact, I can cut this part out right now.
Wait,
Yeah, but-
I want to say some really controversial shit.
Dildo. Oh, God.
I'm gonna leave
All right.
it. I'm gonna leave it in the incriminate Jesse.
No, I don't know. I can't think of anything. I was looking at Overwatch, and the only thing I think about Overwatch is right here. This is something we can talk about. This is a quick topic. Thoughts
Ubisoft
on?
was supposed to be a quick topic.
I know, right? No,
That
no,
was
no.
never gonna be a quick topic.
Can we actually pause this for a second?
I could, but
Nah,
like,
keep going. Just keep going. Run through.
Okay, well,
Run
yeah,
through.
the thing. Okay, the quick discussion is they revealed and confirmed that Symmetra is autistic or like on the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about like a lot of people were like really happy about that?
Okay, this is something actually that I thought of, and then it left my mind during the podcast. I wanted to bring up diversity, including diversity for diversity's sake. I don't think
They never
I
did
don't-
that, though.
That's the thing. I don't think Overwatch does this. There are games that does this. I don't think Overwatch is one of them that do.
I want to know what's an example of adding diversity for diversity's sake.
yes, Daniel, please tell us.
Oh God!
It's
Don't put me on the spot. Keep talking. I'll think of one. Keep
which
talking.
for those
Like, is there a game where they just included a gay person for
Yeah,
just like say they have a gay guy?
Yeah, it's like he's gay.
Would you say like anything in Dragon Age is like that?
I think in Dragon Age they're fundamentally designed that way.
Like
that's
you need to
EA.
have
You need a male. I mean, a love interest of
Given-
any possible.
Yeah, exactly. Given the way that
BioWare.
if I were given the design, it'd be weird if they
No,
didn't have it.
But I mean, like, there are people that make the argument, like, with Tracer being gay. The cover, literally the cover girl of the game. Like, people making the argument that Tracer being gay, like,
But she was always gay.
exactly. So
she didn't become gay. She's
Yeah.
always been
People
that way.
are
She was
making-
born like that.
Yeah.
and there's
People-
nothing wrong with that.
people are
You-
making that
you're a Caribbean
argument that
mother.
diversity for diversity's sake. Where if you naturally include it, then it's not. That's the natural aspect of it. Like, people are making a big stink about Aloy being the main character in Horizon because she's a female.
Oh yeah, you talked about that with
I love that.
with Kelly, right?
Exactly, and I mean, like, there are people that literally are like, I don't want to play this game because I can't connect with that character.
All right, peace.
You can't connect with a fucking character that's like in
Peace
some
out.
dystopian future.
Peace out, though.
You can't like play through her because you can't picture yourself
But
being a girl while looking at robotic dinosaurs.
Here's the thing, though.
Where are these people coming
Exactly.
They're on the
We
internet.
don't need them. Peace out.
I know, but I mean, like, they make a voice and then people get behind that voice, and it's just a stupid opinion.
I mean, yeah.
Like, you can't connect with a character because they're female. You're playing the story in the game that it presents, not because the character's a female. When you play as Overwatch, my main is Tracer, but I don't look at it as I'm playing as a gay character.
Or
I look at it as
a
I'm
girl.
playing as someone who's really fast
I've seen
British?
and British.
I've been to the battles and I've seen some things.
Okay, so
Some things about
Rule
Rosa.
34.
I wish I never saw.
I mean, the people arguing that
Sorry, to,
Blizzard has made
just to
over-
interrupt you for a sec. Could you tell me who that character is? Just like
Symmetra?
describe them? Yes.
Symmetra is
She's the one. She had like the
she's
shirts.
Indian, right?
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
played Overwatch?
Yeah, for a few
Okay.
days.
She makes the teleporter.
She's the support character that doesn't heal.
She's
she
the
has
only Indian character on the show.
Yeah.
Or in the
So
game. in the game.
yeah, I know who you mean.
She has like the white, like it looks like ears and
She
it's
had
like
the thing that
goggles and
sucks
it's
you.
blue.
But the thing
and then
is,
she has,
there
like,
is
portal
there
gun
is
looking
nothing.
thing.
I guess where the issue comes is when you hear and look at Symmetra. I don't know, but you guys.
Nothing screams autistic.
There's nothing.
I didn't
that
even.
screams
Re-
autistic.
re-
But if you-
wasn't
if
aware.
the way you
The thing
break
is,
it down-
the fact that Blizzard is saying she's autistic brings up the point of diversity for diversity.
The thing is, they never said she was autistic. She just makes a passing remark that, like, someone
was
made a
in the
comment.
comic.
It was in the comic. They said, like, they always mentioned that I was always somewhere on the spectrum. Like, I was different from everybody else. And then you notice it, like, in the things, like, she's mildly OCD. She has,
She is.
she's very particular. Even her highlight screen is her, like, fixing the screen and making sure it's straight. And the thing is, like, that doesn't scream, I'm autistic. Or
I
anything.
think
Yeah,
one of the
very
things
subtle.
that's I think that's good because people think of autistic people, they think of extremes, So it's nice that she is technically sufficient, which is a common thing with a lot of autistic people, where they're like savants at specific things, like mechanically, or like you have a lot of people who are like.
Doesn't she own the company from what's that? What's her place called again?
It's
Not Volskaya, but,
there's a place where Lucio straight up steals.
Yeah, Lucio gets his armor from stealing it from her robotics industry.
he steals the thing and plays rebel music for the kids. And
I don't know.
That's like something on a triple X, to be honest.
I know. He knows MMX.
Where are you getting all this backstory from?
It's
the
there's a lot of
comics, the story,
backstory in the comics
the
and
dialogue
everything.
in the game. It's the way that they're going about the story for Overwatch. Not saying that they're doing this
it's not story. It's more like lore, I guess.
exactly, but the way they're going about it, not saying that like they definitely took it from here. It's their own thing, but it's very reminiscent of Souls-like story where it's in the dialogue and the scripts and like the
Although
reading
I
of
will
text
say it's
and
different
the
because
environment.
it's straight up. They're just straight up comics outside the
But
game.
the thing is, like, that's amazing because it just like creates so much franchising opportunity.
Exactly.
And again, like if someone, the people arguing, the people arguing that it's diverse for diversity's sake would probably imagine that like they wish it was like a a Call of Duty game where every character in Overwatch is just a dude or soldier or Yeah, everyone was Soldier 76, but just had different guns. Oh, really? Okay. Should we wrap this up then?
We could, because our battery is dying. Let us be honest with this.
I guess I guess we have to unfortunately wrap this one up. We didn't even
so-
get to our unpopular opinion, but we will definitely.
Witcher's not that good.
Next one. Next one.
The knives will come up for that one.
Well, we'll get into that. Well, that'll be a wrap for episode 0. This was a pretty interesting.
You guys want to play Scribble? Snipper clips? Four-player?
Y'all want to play Scribble Knots?
I got 1-2 switch now.
Let's try it out before we go. I think that'll be good.
Okay, so this is us signing out from the Red Vent. Yeah. Oh, that's-
There you go, the red vent.
Yeah, the red vent.
The bowels of the red vent.
In the bowels deep.
This is Jesse yelling down from the Red Vent.
There you go.
And we will see you hopefully in the future, or
Yes.
listen from us.
Twos.